You thought we was playing. We are live right now.
All right, what's good, everybody? We had technical difficulty, but we are back, man. We are back. We are back. We are back. All right, so the question was, I read it earlier. Let me make sure my sound is right. All right, yeah. So the question was, let me read it again. Big Sale, I recently relocated. The original chapter, the mother chapter is in Tennessee. I relocated to Texas, which we have a chapter there. They're, uh, they want me to join their chapter, but I don't know any. I don't know any of these guys. I would like to just continue to rock my Kansas City rocker and not have to transfer to chapters. Basically, I had it right the first time, but not just have to transfer to chapters. Can I remain in Dallas, in Texas? I'm sorry, in Texas, but with a Kansas City rocker. All right, so apparently what's going on is this: is that you transfer for whatever reason, you move, you relocated. You guys' original mother chapter is in Kansas City, and now you relocated to Texas, which you guys have a chapter there. And apparently they know you there, the whole 9 yards and everything. Now your concern is that you don't know any of these guys. Okay. However, you guys all rock the same patch. I don't know exactly how your club is set up, and I don't know exactly what's the what are your rules and regulations state when it concerning this type of matter. But all I'm gonna tell you is this: just because you're from the mother chapter, which we hear that shit all the time. Oh, I'm from the mother chapter, the mother chapter, the mother chapter. That don't mean shit. You being from the mother chapter don't mean nothing. That just means that you were from the original chapter that birthed your nation. That's it. You are brothers and sisters, whether they step brothers and sisters, whether they foster brothers and sisters, whether they adopted brothers and sisters. You guys are all still sisters. The mother chapter, the only thing that the mother chapter has an advantage of is it will be the oldest chapter. That's it. That's all. They don't have any more higher ranking, higher authority, higher power over all the other chapters. When you decide to branch out and you decide to start pulling other chapters, adopting other chapters, other cities, other states, the whole 9 yards, it just is what it is. But it doesn't give you any special privileges, none whatsoever. So your question is, you're from the mother chapter, Kansas City. You relocated to Texas. You guys have a chapter there in Texas. They know you there. Apparently, you don't function with them, but you don't know them like you know your brothers in Kansas City, which is totally understandable. However, if you move from Kansas City to Texas and you guys have a chapter in Texas, it would be everything considered disrespectful for you to continue to rock Kansas City when you're not in Kansas City no more. You're now in Texas. Okay. That means Kansas City releases you and transfers you to Texas, and now you become a member in the Texas chapter. None of the years in service can be taken from you. Maybe you had a position or you didn't have a position, but if you left and relocated, then the position should have been taken anyway. None of that, but your time and your service to the organization cannot be questioned or taken. However, whenever you come into Texas, whatever their rules and regulations are that differ from your rules in Kansas City, it just is what it is. But you should not continue to rock a Kansas City rocker and you live in Texas and you guys have a chapter there in Texas. That is disrespectful. That's disrespectful to everybody in Texas. So what? You don't know everybody in Texas. You didn't know everybody in Kansas City when you joined the Kansas City chapter. And if you did, kudos to you. But you had to learn new brothers, people coming and going, just like you're gonna have to learn new brothers over here in Texas. There's no difference. So just understand that this whole thing is based on the betterment of the club, not what's better for you. And you should be able to move around and function in any chapter just as well as you was functioning in Kansas City. So now your dues are no longer due in Kansas City. Your dues now you should be paying dues to the Texas chapter. And it's just that simple. You cannot live in a state that has a chapter but rock another vest or rock a chapter vest that's from, rock a vest with another chapter rocker on it. You can't do that. That's disrespect to the chapter. So what you're saying, let me break it down. Because what you're saying is that this chapter is not as sufficient as the mother chapter or whatever chapter. And because of that, I'm going to stay with the mother chapter. And you're telling everybody in that chapter, basically, they not shit. Basically, y'all ain't good enough, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And that's a problem. that is really a problem. So yes, you have to transfer. Yes, you have to give up your Kansas City Rocker. Yes, you have to start paying dues now to Texas. It's just that simple. It's just that simple. It is nowhere around it. Um, and it's just the nature of the beast. So the other thing with that is this: is that why wouldn't you want to have the connection with the local chapter that you're at? Why wouldn't you want to have that connection with them? Why wouldn't you want to bond with them? See, that's the beautiful thing about having chapters. The beautiful thing about having chapters is now you get to move around. And because you relocated to a state that had a chapter that was within your range that you can function with, why would you want to function with them? That would be the most, you know, it just don't make no sense to me why you wouldn't want to do it. You feel what I'm saying? It's all the same club. You know, new brothers, you just got to get to learn new brothers. You got to get to learn new rules. If the rules change, they shouldn't change that much, but if they do change, then oh well. But everybody holding on to this mother chapter shit. The mother chapter is the only difference between the mother chapter and your chapter is they was there first. The mother chapter most likely has most of the founders in it, because some of the founders probably could have left and started another chapter. But the mother chapter is the birth of the founders, is the birth of the first chapter, and that's it. That's the only advantage that the mother chapter has over this whole thing. That's it. You don't get no special kudos because you're from the mother chapter. You don't get no special superpowers because you're from the mother chapter. That shit is totally irrelevant. But everybody try to hold on to it. I'm from the mother chapter. I'm from the mother chapter. Okay, well, so what? That's it. That's all. Your mother chapter status don't get you shit else different than a brand new chapter status. You know, so quit trying to lord over everybody with this mother chapter shit. This mother chapter thing is just totally blown out of proportion. All chapters should be equal. All chapters should be looked at the same. All chapters should be just as powerful as all chapters, as the mother chapter, as any other chapter. We should be equal. Our brotherhood should be the same, whether I'm from Kansas City, whether I'm from Texas, whether I'm from whatever. The brotherhood should be the same. If you relocate and there's a chapter nearest you and you have relocated your family, you relocated your lifestyle, everything is there. Now, if you're visiting, that's one thing. Now, the only other thing you can do is you could take a leave of absence from your mother chapter and don't rock no colors. You feel what I'm saying? And then whatever the criteria for leave of absence is, if they grant it, then you fall up under that criteria. If the criteria is you can have a leave of absence for 6 months, then you can do that, you know, and it should be a limit on to how many leave of absence you can have. But it is disrespectful for you to rock another city and state vest when you have a chapter here where you live in, where you're residing at. If you set up a business, you know, you're residing there. If you got a business there, you live there. If you got a home there, well, I still got a house in Kansas City too, and I got a house in Texas. Okay, brother, you can only live in one place at one time. So again, you know what residing means. You know where you stand at. You know if you relocated. So let's not play the wordplay game. But yes, sir, Kansas City, you have to give up the Kansas City Rocker and put on whatever it is in Texas, and you have to now become a part of that chapter. And again, it would be a good thing that a chapter probably could use your knowledge, what you've seen, and you know you could bring that all to the chapter, not coming there to take over the chapter. And that's another thing too. You other chapters, quit thinking that everybody from the mother chapter wants to take over your chapter, because that's not the case. You know, like I said, some of them are forced to have to be there. So that was my 10-minute take on, if you move to a state where you have a chapter, yes, you have to join that chapter. You can't live in Texas and rock a Kansas City Rocker. You have a club there in Texas. That's disrespectful to the club in Texas. What you're saying is that they're beneath you, they're not on your standards, and you don't want to fuck with them. So that's my time. That's my little 10 minutes of funk, my little 10 minutes of fame. You feel what I'm saying? Get into it. Let's get it, man. Let's get it done, man.
It's your boy, Big Cell, FHO's HNIC, Mr. Him Be Everywhere.
10 minutes, man. I love y'all. Stay tuned.